everybody. Welcome back to On the Banks with CJ's. Now that we've got our potatoes boiling with our eggs to make our potato salad, while that's finishing up, we're going to go ahead and get our fish prepared so that we can get it into our shortening. The first part about frying perfectly fried catfish, or any type of fish actually, is always making sure that you start with our world famous CJ Southern Seasoning fish fry. This fish fry, can fry any type of fish, seafood, to include shrimp, alligator, or any other type fish objects like that. Or you can use it on vegetables. If you like fried green tomatoes, zucchini, squash, pickles, any of that type items, you can use our seasoning to have a restaurant quality product fried in the comfort of your own home. Today we're going to be frying whole catfish and catfish fillets, just so that you can see just how well those items fries up when you're using our seasoning. So we have our seasoning. We have two different methods. We have some people who like to use deep frying pots in their kitchen, and then we have a fryer that actually that we use when we're doing our demos. Please bear with me, and I apologize if I seem nervous, because I am. This is our first live stream, but I'm hoping that you guys will get enough out of this so that you can see exactly how easy it is to use our products. We've put about probably about halfway of shortening on this in this pot to do our deep frying, and on here we've come about an inch from the top of the basket to fry our fish in this one. And we're going to be frying whole fillets in each, and we'll fry, whole catfish in each, and we'll fry the fillets in each, just so that you can see how simple it is. So, where do we start? We've got our shortening going, we have our seasoning. We actually poured one bag of our seasoning into a plastic bag. This is how we'll actually coat the product. So we'll sit this back over to the side. We have our fish. A couple of tips in frying perfectly perfectly fried fish, and to have great quality taste, is the pre-prepping of it. So what we always do and we recommend is that when you buy fish, even if you buy it out at a grocery store, if you catch fish, always wash your fish properly. That starts with making sure that you use cold water and a tablespoon of salt in the water to wash your fish. You may ask, what does that do? That allows, it helps to take the gamey taste out of any type of fish that you're frying. So we've already added the salt to our water, and we've washed our fish. Now we're going to slice our catfish fillet to get it prepared for frying. So we have one fillet. We'll slice it, and we cut across the grains on our fish. That'll help it to fry in a very crispy manner. Now, here's another trick we like to bring to your attention. A lot of people tell us, I don't like catfish because it has a gamey taste to it. Well, we have a secret for that, a second secret. The first one was making sure you use salt in your water. The next one is a toothbrush. Yes, a toothbrush. If you have one, you can go to anywhere, any of your local dollar stores, Walmart, any of the markets, your local grocery store that you shop at. Buy an inexpensive toothbrush. If you'll notice on the inside of your fish, it has this gray area. That's the liner of the stomach. So if you'll take your toothbrush and gently brush the inside of your fish to remove all of the gray matter from the inside, that will be brushing some of the gamey taste or the fishy taste away, because the stomach is coated. You have all of the internal items in the inside of the fish. I'm trying to be nice about in how I'm saying that. This liner is actually helping to remove some of that from the inside. So we'll rinse this as we're doing this, getting all of the gray matter from the inside. Brushing along the top. Oops, my apologies. Brushing along the top also to remove all of that from the inside of your fish. Make sure that you brush both sides as you're doing this. Again, what this does is It takes the fishy taste out of your fish because you're removing this gray matter from the inside. How's everybody's Saturday going? I'm glad to have you guys with us this morning. From our earlier post, we seen we had about 150 people that joined us while we're prepping our potatoes for our potato salad. Thank you guys. We really want to say how much we appreciate all of the support that we've had over the last 5 years in growing our CJ Southern Seasoning business. And we're hoping to be able to get more products online soon and into the market. I do want to make a quick statement also. If by chance you're not in one of the retail areas where our fish seasoning is sold, all you have to do if you want to try the great taste of it is jump on our website, cjsouthernseasonings.com. We have recipes on our website. We also have an ordering system where you can go and place your order on there, and all orders are shipped within 24 hours of confirmed payment. So now that we've got the inside of our fish clean, notice the difference between this one and this one. It's going to make a huge difference in taste. So now that we have it clean, the next thing you want to do on a whole catfish, if you're planning on frying it that way, is just take your knife and you want to cut diagonally across your whole catfish as well. You may ask, well, why should you have to do that? This will make sure that your fish is being cooked all the way down to the bone, because it's actually pretty thick on its own. So you want to make sure that all of your shortening gets down to the bone, and you want to make sure that your product is cooked all the way. So we'll go ahead and clean the inside of our second fish. Remove all of the gray matter. As you can see, as I said, it comes right out. All you have to do is take your toothbrush and brush that out. And this is on any type of fish. Catfish, bluegill, crappie, any type of fish, bass. If you'll just take a toothbrush, gently remove the inside, the gray matter on the inside of it, it'll definitely give your fish a better taste. Okay, so we've washed all the gray matter from the inside using our toothbrush. You also want to make sure there's no residue left from the insides of it. So you want to just do a really good job of scraping it with your toothbrush. Now that we have that done, we'll pour our water off from our fish. The next step in frying perfectly fried fish at home is making sure that you block the excess water from your fish. And that can be done using paper towels. This is really important because it helps our seasoning to have a better coating while it's frying. Dry this bowl out right quick because we can use the same bowl to store our fish in while we're frying. So I've dried all the water out of the bowl. Now I'm drying the excess water off your fish. Christy, I hope that you're watching. This is mainly for you. You told me you wanted to make sure that it was fried fish so that your family could have a home-cooked meal for your grown kids this morning. So this is for you, Miss Christy Lewis. I wish I could see everybody who's on here, but of course I've got my production supervisor is holding the camera, so I can't see all of you guys who joined us this morning. But again, I do want to say how much we appreciate you being here with us. Now, as you can see, we've blotted all the excess water off our fish. This will allow us to have a really great thin coating on the fish without the fish looking grainy. A lot of people say, well, when I fry fish, my fish always turn out grainy. Why is that? Well, that's because you didn't block the water off. So you want to make sure that you do that today. You'll fry your fish on 350-degree temperature. Depending on the thickness of your fish, the whole catfish will fry just a little bit longer than our catfish fillets because they're thicker than the catfish fillets. Our catfish fillets will probably fry anywhere from 4 to about 8 minutes. Again, that's depending on the thickness of your fish. Okay? All the water's blotted off our fish. We're going to sit this aside for just one moment because I want to test the temperature on this particular pot because it doesn't have a temperature gauge on it. I want to make sure that our shortening is at the right temperature, which is 350 degrees. This one has a temperature gauge on it, so I know that this one is perfect. So this one's a little over 350, so what I plan to do to bring the temperature down, I'll add just a little bit of shortening in it. To bring it down to the temperature where we need it to cook. You don't want to cook it in a temperature higher than 350 degrees because that will have your fish cook too fast and it'll be done on the outside, but it won't be quite done on the inside. So you want to make sure that the temperature is only at 350 degrees. So we're at 341. We're going to let that heat right back up to 350. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get some fish going in our fryer that we have right here. Again, we've got this fryer set on 350 degrees. We have our CJ Southern Seasoning fish fry in our bag. And we're going to put one of these whole catfish. Just drop it down in the bag and just coat it. No milk, no egg, no egg wash, nothing is needed. You don't have to add any salt, pepper, or anything else to your fish prior to frying it because all of your spices are in the bag. Some people ask us, well, how do you get your fish to taste that good? And how does it taste like it has all the spices on it? Well, if you read on our bag, it says the secret really is in the bag, and I promise you it is. Notice how thinly coated that fish is. So we're going to go ahead and drop it in the shortening. Let it fry uninterrupted for about 2 minutes. That will allow your breading to stick to your fish before you disturb it. Same thing here on our catfish fillet, one of the strips. Look how perfectly seasoned that is and coated that is. Again, drop it in your shortening. Now we're going to test to make sure this one is at the right temperature. Okay, we got about 3 degrees more that we need to get to, so I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more so it'll get to the right temperature. And this one is on its way, so I want to wash my hands. Test that temperature on that pot one more time, and we'll prepare it to put our fish in the inside. Kristen, are you awake this morning? I know Derek is. Thanks everybody for joining us again. I really appreciate you taking the time out to be here. And we're hoping to have another segment coming up soon that we'll call On the Banks with CJ's. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys tell me what you'd like to have me show you how to cook next. It can be macaroni and cheese. How about shrimp and grits? You name it. We'll take it under consideration and then we'll get back with you and see if we can make that happen for you. on, Max. Checking to make sure. I can't see the dial on that, so my production supervisor is checking to make sure it's on the right level. So if you've noticed, our catfish in this fryer has been cooking for about 2 minutes. Now you can turn it over. I can tell it's really crispy already. Look at that. And that's after 2 minutes of cooking. Perfectly coated catfish. You don't want to disturb it too much because you don't want to knock the breading off your fish. So you want to let that cook. Again, the fillet is only going to cook for 4 to 7 minutes depending on the thickness. And your whole catfish needs to cook 7 to about maybe 9 minutes. Again, depending on the thickness of that as well. We're almost at a point where we can put our fish in. But while we're doing that, I want to check your potatoes to make sure that your potatoes are ready for our potato salad. Some people may ask, well, how do we know if our potatoes are done? Just take a knife, and if you can put your knife all the way through your potatoes with these, then your potatoes are ready. It seems like our potatoes are just about ready. So we'll let those cook a few more moments. Check the shortening in this one again. Okay, now we're ready. So we'll go ahead and put our other catfish strips, the fillets in here. Our whole catfish in here. Again, all you're doing is just lightly coating the fish. One of the great things about our seasoning is whatever you're cooking, the coating is so thin that you really and truly get to enjoy the flavor of that item. So if you're cooking fish, the coating is thin on it, you really get to taste it. If you're cooking shrimp, again, you don't have that big build-up breaded coating on it. So you get to taste the quality of the shrimp that you purchased. So we'll let those cook. Look at that. We've cooked 2 whole catfish fillets, two whole catfish, and the catfish fillet. We barely used any of our seasoning. You may ask, well, what can I do with that? All you do now, because you have it in this plastic bag, seal your bag, store it in your refrigerator, and use it the next time you get ready to fry fish. One bag will fry you 4 to 6 pounds of any kind of fish or seafood. Okay, while our fish is cooking, looks like our fillet is almost ready. And this one, we're going to let it fry for another minute or so. Our potatoes are ready. So we're going to take those off the stove, run some cold water on them, just enough so they can cool off, so that we don't burn our hands while we're peeling our potatoes. Some people cut up their potatoes prior to making potato salad. I prefer to do it this way. I'm all about simple, easy, and less steps. So we're going to allow cold water to run on those. We have our bowl ready for our potato salad. When you're cooking your potatoes, as I said, if you add a teaspoon of salt in your water, that allows your shells from your eggs to come right off. Make sure you have all your shells off your egg. You take a spoon, makes it really easy for you to peel your potatoes. Takes just a few minutes to get all of these peeled off. I want to stop for just one moment to get my hands. Wash right here because I want to go ahead and take that catfish fillet out of the first shortening that we cooked. You don't want it to be overcooked. Some people do like crunchy, crunchy, crunchy fish. So if you do like your fish cooked that way, you can let it stay in your shortening a little bit longer. Okay, so when you're taking your fish from your shortening, have a paper towel to allow your shortening to drain on it. Look at that. Perfect. Perfectly. It's crispy, coated all the way around. Perfect. Our catfish, our whole catfish is almost ready on that one. But in this pie, what we want to do is you just want to go ahead now, because it's been about 2 minutes. You want to flip your whole catfish over and your catfish fillet over. Again, we've got perfectly coated fish in each one of our containers. Sit that back to the side and finish peeling our potatoes. I've already chopped up my celery, my bell pepper, and my onion. Some people prefer to use celery salt rather than use whole actual celery. That's, if you like to do that, that's perfect. You can do that as well. So we've got our potatoes peeled. Last one. We sit this over here to the side. Hands rinsed off and washed. Okay, now we're going to mix up our potato salad. Okay, in order to do this, what you'll need is, you'll need your knife, and you want to cut your potato in bite-sized pieces. Like so. Okay? Still pretty hot, so please be careful. My production supervisor always tells me I've got hands of steel. I don't know if I agree with him on that. Okay, we got one more potato. And then you want to shred your eggs. Okay, real simple. I love cooking, so that's probably why I say things are really simple when it comes to the kitchen for me. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do, we have a 1/4 cup of onions. Add your onions. 1/4 cup of bell peppers that are already chopped. You're going to add your bell peppers. And we have a 1/4 cup of celery that we'll add to it. Again, I'll sit this to the side for just one moment, and I'll be right back with you. I want to take our first whole catfish out that we cooked. Go ahead and remove it from the short. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Draining it, and then we'll add it to our paper towel. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? I know it's making you hungry. I'm hungry also. And actually on this side, our catfish fillets on this side are done also. So we're going to let those drain, and we'll go ahead and put those on the tray so that those can come out as well. Look at those. Perfectly coated. Okay, so now we have our potatoes. We have all of our ingredients added in our potato salad. Now it's time to add our mayo, mustard. We use dill relish. Some people like sweet relish. We prefer to have our potato salad because it's simply southern. We want to have a tang in our potato salad. So we use dill relish. Okay, have our it's probably going to be about a cup of mayo, cup and a half of mayo. You can add more if you like a lot of mayo in your potato salad. A lot of people like to have their potato salad really kind of moist. I like to have mine consistent. 3. So you're going to add 1/4 of a cup of dill relish. And my apologies about not having my mustard ready. Then you're going to add 1/4 of a cup of mustard into your potato salad. Now you want to mix this. And you may need to add a little bit more mayo, which is why we allowed our spoon to stay in. Look at it. Look at the different colors that you have in your potato salad. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, the last thing you want to do is you want to add your seasoning, your spices. So we have our spices laid out over here. We have accent, and it's not necessary if you're not an MSG person. You don't have to add accent to your potato salad. So it's a 1/2 teaspoon of accent, a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I like to add just a pinch of cayenne pepper to mine to give it that southern style. A 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. And then just mix it up. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? The last step to your potato salad is transferring your potato salad to the bowl that you plan to serve it in when you invite your family over. This to the side. And you've got homemade potato salad, Simply Southern homemade potato salad, made C.J. Southern seasoning style. Garnish your potato salad with parsley, paprika, and there you have it. We will take our last whole catfish out of this shortening. And again, a perfectly breaded whole catfish fillet, fried using our very own world famous C.J. Southern seasoning fried fish, our fried fish seasoning. Okay, the last step we'll do is we'll plate this so that you can see how perfect it looks. Okay, there you are. So, this was our first live segment. I know I made a few hiccups, but I hope that you get the gist of what a perfect meal you can have if you're using our C.J. Southern seasoning fish fry. The secret really is in the bag. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it and hope to see you back again soon. Have a great day.